It has never happened in history. The union of Russia and China. It's a de jure union right now, given the various agreements that were signed in Moscow. Prior to this, Moscow and Russia never were marching in sync with each other. In fact, they have a history of conflict. They had no relations at all prior to 1689. And since 1689, they've been back and forth, but they've never had a formal arrangement. And the U.S. policy, since Richard Nixon went to China in 1972, was to prevent Russia and China from ever uniting. We always wanted to drive a wedge between them to keep them separate. Why? China represents the greatest industrial power in the world. Russia represents the greatest supplier of commodities and rare earth minerals in the world, not to mention its military weapons. So what has now been created is a union between Russia and China that has not existed in recorded history.
This unification did not come about by anything that Bill Clinton or George W. or George H.W. or Barack Obama did. This happened in the past 2 years under Joe Biden via Ukraine. Is that what you're saying, Larry?
Yeah, Ukraine is sort of the key point for it, where the United States openly talking about China as an enemy. Russia is clearly an enemy that we're going to destroy. We're going to get rid of Putin. So these countries are not deaf. Just like if you had somebody living next door to you that was threatening to come over and kill you, you take measures to protect yourself. Well,
Right.
Surprise, surprise. That's what the Chinese and Russians are now doing. The United States is falsely claiming that China is going to supply weapons to Russia. Russia doesn't need the Chinese weapons. China needs Russia's weapons, particularly the hypersonic missiles.